What if everything that feels so heavy right now could just quiet down for a minute? Like someone turned the volume knob on life from 10 to 2? That's exactly what happened to Maya on the worst day of her life so far. And it only took one tiny thing she did that anyone can copy tonight. Maya was 26, living in a tiny apartment above a bakery that smelled like sugar at 5 a.m. and burnt toast by noon. She had a normal job doing customer support for an online store, 2 cats, and a to-do list that never ended. On the outside, she looked fine, smiled in selfies, posted cute cat pics, but inside she was drowning. Work emails kept coming after hours. Her mom called every night worried about money. Her best friend was going through a breakup and needed her on the phone until 2 a.m., and Maya still had to pay bills, buy groceries, clean the litter box, and somehow keep herself alive. Most days she woke up already tired. The alarm would go off and her chest would tighten before her feet even hit the floor. Here we go again, her brain said. You're behind. You're failing. Everyone needs something from you, and you're running out of energy to give. She'd scroll through her phone for 5 minutes, bad idea, and see perfect lives, perfect jobs, perfect bodies. That made the tightness worse. By the time she dragged herself to the shower, she already felt like crying, but there was no time. Coffee, clothes, bus, headphones in, pretend everything's okay. At work, she sat at her desk with a fake smile, answering angry customers while her own inbox exploded. Every ding of a new message felt like a punch. Lunch break? She ate at her desk because there was too much to catch up on. By 6 p.m. her eyes burned, her shoulders ached, and she still had a 40-minute bus ride home, dinner to figure out, and probably another 2 hours of helping people with their problems. Nights were the worst. She'd lie in bed staring at the ceiling while her mind replayed everything. Did I reply to that important email? What if I get in trouble tomorrow? Mom sounded sad. Should I call her back right now? My friend is hurting, and I'm a bad person if I don't text. The cats need food tomorrow. Rent is due in 8 days. I'm so tired. Why can't I sleep? Some nights, she cried quietly so the neighbors wouldn't hear. Other nights, she just lay there frozen, heart racing, feeling like the walls were closing in. She started getting headaches that lasted all day. Her hands would shake when she tried to type. She forgot to eat sometimes and then binged on chips at midnight because her body was starving. Her skin broke out, her hair felt dry, and she couldn't remember the last time she laughed for real. Weekends weren't better. She'd wake up planning to rest, but then the guilt hit. You have so much to do. Clean the apartment, answer messages, call your mom, go grocery shopping, do laundry. By Sunday night, she was more exhausted than Friday, crying in the shower because another weekend was gone and she still felt behind. She kept telling herself, next week I'll get on top of things. But next week came and it was the same storm, only louder. One Thursday, everything broke. She woke up at 3 a.m. from a panic attack, heart pounding, couldn't breathe, convinced she was dying. She sat on the bathroom floor shaking for 20 minutes until it passed. Then she had to get ready for work anyway. On the bus, she missed her stop because she was zoned out. At the office, she opened her laptop and just stared. 100 unread emails. Her boss messaged, "Can you jump on a call in 5?" She typed back yes, but then closed the laptop, walked out, and sat on a bench outside crying. She texted her boss, not feeling well, and turned her phone off for the first time in years. She didn't go home. She just walked. No plan. Past shops, past parks, past people living normal lives. Her mind kept screaming, "You're screwing everything up. You're going to get fired. Everyone's going to be mad. You're useless." She walked until her legs hurt and ended up at a tiny lake on the edge of the city she didn't even know existed. It was quiet, just ducks and old men feeding them bread. Maya sat on the grass, pulled her knees to her chest, and let herself cry for real. No hiding, no rush. When the tears slowed down, she noticed something weird. The lake was still there. The ducks didn't care that her life was falling apart. The wind kept blowing. Nothing had exploded just because she stopped running for an hour. That tiny realization hit her hard. The world wasn't ending even though her brain said it was. She sat there longer, maybe an hour, maybe 2, and she did the simplest thing in the world. She just breathed. Not fancy breathing, not an app, not counting. She just noticed the air going in cool and out warm. In and out. Again. Again. For the first time in months, her shoulders dropped. The knot in her chest loosened a little. She wasn't fixed, far from it, but for a few minutes life felt bearable. A little kid ran past chasing bubbles and laughed. Maya watched, and something inside her cracked open. She started talking to herself out loud, quietly. Maya, you're killing yourself trying to hold everything at once. You're allowed to put it down sometimes. You're allowed to breathe. She made a decision right there on the grass. Not a big dramatic one, just a tiny promise. From now on, when everything feels too heavy, she would stop and do this again. Sit somewhere quiet, feel the ground under her, breathe until the storm in her head got smaller. That was it. No 10-step plan, no perfect morning routine. Just one small life raft she could grab when the waves got high. She turned her phone back on. 50 messages. Her stomach flipped. But instead of opening them all, she typed one group text to her closest people. Hey, having a really hard day. Going to be off my phone tonight. I love you, and I'll talk tomorrow. Then she turned it off again, and nothing bad happened. She walked home slow, stopped at the store and bought the easiest dinner, frozen pizza and ice cream. Ate it on the couch while watching a dumb cartoon with the cats on her lap. Went to bed at 9:30 p.m. like a kid. Slept 9 hours straight for the first time in forever. The next morning she still had problems, tons of them, but something was different. The weight was still there, but she wasn't carrying it alone in her head anymore. She opened her laptop, answered the 3 most important emails, then closed it and went back to the lake. Sat for 20 minutes breathing. Came home and cleaned only the kitchen. Texted her mom, I love you, can we talk tonight instead? And her mom said of course. She started doing this every single day. Some days only 5 minutes on her balcony watching the sky. Some days an hour at the lake. Whenever the heaviness started climbing her chest, she stopped whatever she was doing, if she could, and breathed until it backed off a little. She told her boss she needed to leave at 5 p.m. sharp most days. He said okay. She told her friend, I can listen for 30 minutes, then I need to take care of me. Her friend understood. She started saying no to things that used to feel impossible to say no to. Weeks turned into months. The panic attacks got fewer. Sleep got better. She still had hard days. Life doesn't stop, but now she had proof that stopping for a few minutes wouldn't make the world collapse. Actually, it made everything else easier. She got better at work because her brain wasn't fried. She laughed more with friends because she wasn't secretly dying inside. She even started painting again. Tiny watercolor postcards she left around the city for strangers to find. The lake became her spot. She'd go there with a blanket and just sit. Sometimes she cried. Sometimes she smiled at nothing. But every time she left lighter than when she arrived. Here's what Maya figured out that changed everything. And it's so simple you can do it right now. Tonight, wherever you are. When life feels too heavy, your body already knows what to do. You just forgot to listen. Your breath is always with you. It's free, it's quiet, and it's stronger than the storm in your head. You don't need an hour. You don't need a lake. You just need 4 seconds. Breathe in slow, hold for a tiny bit, breathe out even slower. Do it 3 times and notice what happens. The thoughts don't vanish, but they stop driving the car for a minute. You get back in the driver's seat. Try it with me now if you want. Seriously, no one's watching. In through your nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Out through your mouth, 6, 7, 8. Again. And hold out slow. 1 more. And hold out. Feel even a tiny bit calmer? That's your proof. That tiny space between the panic and the breath, that's where your power lives. Maya still has bad days. Bills still come. People still need her. But now when the weight starts crushing her, she stops, sits, breathes, and remembers. I don't have to carry this alone right this second. I can put it down for 5 minutes, and the world will still be here when I pick it back up. And the craziest part? When she started putting the weight down for 5 minutes here and 10 minutes there, she suddenly had energy to actually fix some of the problems instead of just surviving them. If your chest feels tight right now, if your brain won't shut up, if everything feels too much, do this tonight. Find a quiet spot, even if it's your bathroom floor. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Sit. Close your eyes if you want. Breathe in slow, out slower. That's it. Nothing else. Just 5 minutes of not fixing, not answering, not running. You're allowed. The world won't fall apart. I promise. Maya still goes to her lake every week just to say thank you to the day she remembered how to breathe. And every time she does, she feels the heaviness lift just enough to keep going. You've got this. 1 breath at a time. Watch the next story about the night everything felt hopeless until one text changed it all.